Hi friends, today we're going to be doing electrolysis of water. So if you don't know what electrolysis of water is, I'm going to explain to you now. So electrolysis of water is the process of splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen. So you're going to have, just like you have water and you pass electrons through the water to create gas bubbles that are hydrogen and oxygen in two test tubes. And so that's what electrolysis is. So the materials you will need are a glass or plastic container, a battery. I used a 9-volt battery, as you can see here. 2 crocodile clip wires. It's best if you have a red one and a black one. Then 2 rubber bands, 2 sticks of graphite, or if you don't have sticks of graphite, you can use pencils and sharpen them on both sides. It's best if they're small, so I'm going to show you an example of what we did. So now, and you'll need 2 test tubes with lids if possible. If you don't have lids, it's fine. It's just like the lids are just like to store your hydrogen and oxygen in your test tubes. I labeled my test tubes with hydrogen and oxygen, so you know which one is which when we get our bubbles. Some baking soda, or you can call it bicarbonate of soda, and some warm water. So now let's get started with our experiment. So I'm going to first start with a rubber band and take it on my container. I'm going to turn it this way so you can see, and kind of put it on my container. So I'm going to first start like this. So you just put it on across the mouth of your container, but it's a little on one side. So I'm going to put it over here. There you go. And then you're going to take the second rubber band and do the exact same thing next to your other rubber band. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to put this a little close. And then you're going to take the rubber band you just put on and kind of cross it over the other rubber band, and do it on the bottom side too. Then flip it over and cross it. So now I'm gonna adjust my other rubber band to kind of make a X shape. And also on the bottom. There we go. So once you have your X shape, you're going to see that you have 2 triangles in your X. So you're going to take your test tubes. I'm going to take my lids off my test tubes and put them on the side. So I'm going to put my test tubes in here. It doesn't really matter which, I'm just going to tighten this up. It doesn't really matter which side you put which test tube, if you have labels on them like mine. So now we're going to take, I'll start with the red wire, the red crocodile clip wire. Oops, it went over the container. And I'm going to start with one side. I'm going to put it here so you can see it, and take one pencil and put the clip the wire on the end of one pencil. So I'm going to try to do it. It's kind of hard to open my wire. Okay. I did it for the red wire. Now it's time for the black wire. So I'm going to open my wire and put this end on the side, and take this end of my wire and attach it to this pencil. So now I'm gonna flip this over so it's easier for me to do it. I'm going to take my red one and put it next to my oxygen test tube, and take my black one and put it next to my hydrogen test tube. So just to tell you, the black wire, which is attached to the hydrogen, is on the cathode side, and the red wire, which is attached to the oxygen, is called the anode side. So now I'm gonna put the points facing upward of the pencil and put these wires here. These pencils, tape the wires down. So, okay, there it is. Okay, taped it down so it just stays in place. You don't have to tape it. It's just so it stays in place. Next, you're going to take your test tubes out and put them on the pencils. So the pencils are inside the test tube, like this. So now you're going to take your warm water and mix it with 3 teaspoons of baking soda. Just to clarify, you need 1 cup of water for every 3 teaspoons of baking soda. Then take 1, 2, take a little more, 3, and mix it in. Okay. So now I'm going to pour it in my container. So, let's see. There we go. Okay, I think I need 1 more cup of water. I'm going to go get it. I got another cup of water right here. And I mixed 3 more teaspoons of baking soda. Kind of crunch up the baking soda because it's kind of, okay, there we go. There's 1, 2, and 3. I'm gonna add a little more. There we go. Put this on the side and mix it. I think that's enough. And pour it inside. Okay, I'll put this on the side. I think that's enough water. So you can see the gas. So you need to take the battery. It's kind of wet now. Okay. Take your battery and connect it on. So I'm gonna take the black one first this time and attach it on there. Then I'm gonna take this red one and put it on. There we go. So the battery is on. So you can see it. Oops, this black one is not good enough. So I'm just going to show it to you here and put it down. So now you can see the gas bubbles forming underneath the test tubes. The thing is, if we want the gas bubbles to go in our test tubes, we need to put water in our test tubes. So I'm going to take the test tube down and put water in it. Let's see. Tape came off, it's fine. Just put a little more water in there. Okay, it's full, and I can put it in there now. And do the same for the other test tube. I'll put it up. There we go. So now you can see the gas bubbles starting to come in the test tubes. So I'm going to wait a little for the gas bubbles to come in the test tubes. So this side is hydrogen, this side is oxygen. Let's put this inside. So I'm going to tell you about why we use graphite or pencil leads here. So it's just because these crocodile clip wires can't come in the test tube, so we use graphite. So graphite can kind of go in the test tubes, and it's like a link you put in your test tubes, so it comes in your test tube. Graphite is also used as electrodes in this experiment and in other things. Like if we have a battery here, so graphite is used as electrodes in batteries too. So it's just it has a lot of atoms that can move around, and it's strong and durable. So that's why they use it for the electrodes. And I'm going to tell you about the cathode and the anode. So this, on the battery, the minus sign, which is connected to the black wire, is the cathode, and the plus sign over here is connected to the red wire, which is the anode. Okay, I think we have enough bubbles in here. So I'm going to take my test tubes out so you can see my bubbles. So I'll take them out. So the best thing to do with this is to keep it underwater while you have the bubbles inside. When you keep it underwater, then the water still has hydrogen and oxygen in it, so the gases stay inside. This is the oxygen. These bubbles is the oxygen. And I'll take my other lid, go down, take that out, and put that inside. So you can see the hydrogen now. So for so if you open your test tubes, the gas is going to come out and you won't find any bubbles inside. All that will be left is water. And in this experiment, I observed, when we started the experiment and put the battery on, then the water in the test tubes quickly changed to gas bubbles. That's what I observed. And I'm going to tell you the logic behind this experiment. So it's you have test tubes inside to get your gases. So the main thing is you have water, which has your hydrogen and oxygen that you need to separate. So baking soda helps the water separate. Pure water also works for this, but you won't get as much gas. A lot of things say, a lot of videos and apps say you should add salt, but baking soda is actually better than adding salt. And the battery has electrons in it, and the wires get the electrons through the water. And then at the end of the wires, there's the gases that appear in bubbles in water. But when they're out in the air, you can't see them. In water, you can see the gases as bubbles. So you see the bubbles in the water, and then the graphite, so it goes into graphite, goes up, and when it goes to the tip of the graphite, it goes in the test tube, so you can get the bubbles in your test tube. So if you want to know exactly if you got hydrogen and oxygen, And there's a way you can know how you got hydrogen or oxygen. So I'm going to start with hydrogen. So how you test hydrogen is you take a burning splint and put it into this test tube of hydrogen. And then it's going to make a popping noise. It's going to make a popping noise if it's hydrogen. If it's not hydrogen, it's going to do something else or not do something at all. And for oxygen, you put a lighted splint inside this test tube of oxygen. And then when you put it inside, it's going to relight into a burning splint. So that's how you test hydrogen and oxygen, just to make sure you got the right gases. If you like my videos, please subscribe to them and hit the thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next video.